Good day, everyone. Humanistic Psychoanalysis of Erich Fromm. Erich Fromm's basic thesis is that modern-day people have been turned away from their prehistoric union and nature and also with one another. Yet they have the power of reasoning, foresight, and imagination. Trained by Freudian psychoanalysis and influenced by Karl Marx, Karen Horney, and other socially oriented theorists. Fromm developed a theory of personality that emphasized the influence of sociobiological factors, history, economics, and class structure. His humanistic psychoanalysis assumed that humanity's separation from the natural world has produced feelings of loneliness and isolation, a condition called basic anxiety. So yun nga, sinabi ko kanina, nagtitraining si Fromm under the orthodox psychoanalysis ni Sigmund Freud. So hanggang naboring siya, gumawa siya ng sarili niyang sekta. So lumaki si Fromm sa Germany noong kasagsagan ng World War. And then his humanistic psychoanalysis looked at people from a historical and culture perspective rather than a strictly psychological one. It is more concerned with those characteristics from to a culture. From theories is rather than unique blend of Freud and Marx. Freud emphasized the unconsciousness, biological drives, repression, and so on. So, in another hand, Marx saw people to determine by their society, and the most especially by their economic system. Okay, let's move on to basics assumption of Fromm. Fromm believed that humans have been turned away from their prehistoric union with nature and left with no powerful instinct to adapt to changing world. But because humans acquired that ability to reason, they can think about their isolated condition, a situation Fromm called the human dilemma. And then, people experience this basic dilemma because they have become separate from nature and yet have the capacity to be aware of themselves as isolated beings. Okay, let's moving forward to human needs. These essential needs have been emerged during the evolution of human culture, growing out of their attempts to find answer to their existence. It can only be addressed by fulfilling our uniquely human needs from identified five of these distinctivity human of essential needs. So the first one is the relatedness. Derives people to unite with another person through submission, power, and love. So nakapasok dito ang submission. So ano nga ba ang submission? So submission, a person can submit to another, to a group, or to an institution in order to become one with the one word. Next is power. A person seeks additional power, and as a result, they become more and more dependent on their partners and less of an individual. And the last one is love. Fromm defined love as a union with somebody or something outside oneself under the condition of retaining the separateness of integrity of one own self. So, ang ibig niyang sabihin, ang true love ay ang dalawang tao ay magiging isa, pero at the same time ay dalawang tao pa rin. So, the next one is yung transcendence. Is the need for people to raise about their passive existence and create or destroy life. Human can be creative in other ways. They can create art, religion, ideas, law, material, production, and love. But we can also transcend life by destroying it and thus raising about our slain victims to kill for reason. Knowing that one day we'll be die, we want to become more than human, to transcend, to be more powerful than who we are right now. Ito yung urge natin na to make a difference sa buhay-buhay ba natin sa mundo. So sabi niya, sa ibang tao, sa mga neurotic people na ginagawa nila para mag-rise about others, rise about other people. Kung lahat ng tao ay mas mababa sa'yo, ay ang ibig sabihin ay mataas ka. So, paano gagawin yun? You will destroy it. You will destroy everything. Some people will destroy everything. Nga kanina sinabi ko, maraming pwedeng gawin. And additional, our need for transcendence is creating or contributing to something bigger than ourselves will allow to us become more than who we are right now. The third one is the rootedness, is the need for a consistent structure in people's lives to feel at home again in the world. Fromm was influenced by John Jacob Beethoven ideas on early martial societies. Beethoven held that one mother was the central figure in these ancient social groups. So, and the next one is the sense of identity. So, dito na papasok yung pang sarili natin, yung sa atin. So, yun na nga. So, sense of identity yung is a capacity to be aware of ourselves as a separate entity. So, people were identified by their social rules, and then the identity, the most people still resides in their attachment to others or to institutions such as the nations, religions, occupation, and or social group. So, yun na nga. So, the last one is the frame of orientation. Consistent way of looking at the world. So, yun na. That's all. Thank you po.